Hi guys, welcome to Itra Tech Talks. Today we are going to discuss about what is an array, reading of array, assigning elements to an array in two ways, single dimension and also in two dimensional. So let's go into it. So first we'll go with what is an array. An array is collection of similar elements in continuous memory locations with single variable. That means, let's take an example to get it clear. Let's take a person X. He plays roles of different things like friends. He is a friend, he is a student, he is a son. That means a single person holds different roles. Similarly, here a single variable holds different numbers in it. Let's take a of 10. It holds a of 1, a of 2, a of 3 and so on till a of 10. So actual syntax to define an array is this: data type, array name and its size is equals to in set of elements. Let's take an example of that syntax. Here int a of 10 is equal to set of 1 to 10 elements. Int is a data type which says that elements are in integer type, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Those are all integers. So we represent the data type as int. And here a is the main variable, that means acts in the person X. Let consider as person X as a, then you guys will understand nice. So a of 10 is equals to a can hold 10 variables at once. So with continuous memories location, that means a of 10 is equals to 1 to 10 numbers. That means a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4, a of 5, a of 6, a of 7 and so on a of 10. An array starts from 0 and ends till n minus 1. Example, int a of 10 is equals to 1 to 10 elements. But the size is in this way, so that the size starts from a of 0 first and ends till a of 9, because the size is given as 10, so it ends till a of 9 starting from 0. A of 0 will be the variable of 1, a of 1 will be the variable of 2, a of 2 will be the variable of 3 and so on. A of 9 will be the variable of 10. These are the different size names, variable names actually. These all have similar one, a. A is the main variable as I said before, and these are the different sizes or variables internally of this main variable. Each element stored in different addresses but continuous addresses. Will not have all same addresses for every element. Will have different addresses. We can't define it. It will depend on the compiler. So let's assume it as first element's address is stored in 531. It may be anything, 1024 or anything, no problem. I'm assuming it as 131 or 531, sorry. So variable a of 0 contains 1. This is the main variable, remember it. And internal variable is a of 0. In this a of 0, 1 is stored. and the address of this a of 0 equal to 1 is stored in address of 531, and the continuous increment of the numbers will be done. Internal size a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, these are the continuous increments. Similarly, addresses also get continuously increased. Let's take this as beginning assumed address, what I thought it as 531, and the second one a of 1 is equals to 2 is stored in 532 address, and the continuing addresses will be in this way. So this beginning address will not be particularly done, it will be dependent on the compiler. It may be any address that is infinite, but I have assumed it as 531. In this 531 address with main variable a, and in that main variable we will have another variable of 0, and a of 0 will contain 1, and then this internal size increases with the same main variable, and a of 1 will be in 2, and a of 2 will have 3, a of 3 will have 4. Similarly it goes on. In this way, with a single main variable and internal another variables, many numbers will be stored in a main variable that is only one variable. I have took it as a, it may be anything. Now we'll come into assigning values or elements to an array dynamically. It is in two ways, single dimensional and two dimensional. Let's get into single dimensional first. This is the most probably used syntax. We'll mostly use for loop because, as I said before, single element need to store different internal variables, so that the for loop increases for the size and the main variable remains same. So we use for loop here. So in single dimensional array we are using for loop. For I is equals to 0 and I less than n, I plus plus, scanf %t address of a of I. That means here if you see, I value increases. We are giving, I have given incrementation for I is equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So these conditions will be applicable for a of I. That means only for I. But after satisfying this condition, when it get into the loop, using scanf, it will be stored in the address of a of I. A will be remain the same for every incrementation, but I value gets changed. Let's go into deeper with an example. This is the sample program. Hash include studio.h, void main, brackets open, int a of 10. Let's compare this with reading of array. If you see, a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, let these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on will be I. So I have given its size as 10. As I said before, the size starts from 0 and ends till n minus 1. That means here n is 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. From 0 to 9, this loop iterates. So these I have, for these elements, these size elements I have given as I and n. In general way, we'll define elements dynamically in this manner using printf and scanf. We'll enter the number and then it goes to scanf. If we enter the element 10, then it's go with 10. and then when we comes to single dimensional array, it has to continue with loop. So I am giving here a of I. Here a of I is nothing but a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4, a of 5, a of 6 and so on. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these all are I values, and I values are given with a condition I less than n and incrementation. So n we have given as 10. Let's assume this value as 10 and I is equals to 0. That means initial value is 0 and this loop continues till less than n. N is 10. So 0 less than 10. That means 0 to 9. This loop iterates till 0 to 9. And when the condition satisfies, it gets into the loop and will be stored in the address of a of I. That is what, for suppose if we take I is equals to 0, it is satisfied by n. 0 is less than 10. 0 is less than 10. So when it comes to scanf into the loop, that means it will store as a of 0. So a of 0, I will be entering it dynamically 1, and this 1 will be stored in the address of 531. These are iterations for this loop. Here I have taken example for 10. It takes more time to explain, so I am taking it as n is equals to 5. Don't consider 10 over here. In output we will be asked to enter the number. Then I have entered n is equals to 5. That is stored in the address of n. So this 5 will be in the address of n. It will be assigned to n. So n is equals to 5. When we get into the loop, next we have for loop. So here I is equals to 0 and n is equals to 5. That means this loop continues till 0 less than 5. That means 0 to 4. And then condition becomes false, comes out of the loop. Let's see the iterations. I is equals to 0. Initial value is 0 in this for loop. So first I is equals to 0 and this is the condition to be satisfied. So 0 is less than 5, as we have given here I is less than 10 and I is equals to 0 initial value, and that 0 is less than 5. So this condition is true. It gets into the loop. Scanf a of 0 will be asked, will be entering element 2 for example. We can enter any element over here, not only 2, we can take it as 12 or 13 or 1 or 3, any other, whatever the number we like. So I am entering here dynamically 2. So this 2 what I have entered in the output will be stored in the variable a of 0. That's what scanf. It reads the value, just reads the value, it doesn't print again. A of 0 is equals to 2 and then I value gets incremented I plus plus. So I becomes 1, 0 to 1, and then again into the loop because condition satisfied. 1 is less than 5 again, condition is true. A of I, a of 1, what is the value is I 1. So a of 1 is equals to, enter anything number, no problem, I have taken as 4. So a of 0 will be 2, a of 1 will be 4, but the main variable is a. You got my point? So and then I value again gets incremented, then 1 becomes 2. So again 2 checks for the condition I less than n. So here I value is 2. 2 is less than 5. So a of 2 is equals to 5. I have entered this dynamically 5. You can enter any number what is your wish, no problem. And then I value gets incremented, that means 2 gets incremented to 3, and then 3 checks for the condition I less than n. So 3 is less than 5. Again it gets into the loop and stores in a of I. I value is 3. So a of 3 is equals to enter any dynamical value, your wish. I have entered it as 12. And then again the I value gets incremented. So 3 becomes 4, checks the condition. 4 is less than 5. True. So it comes into the loop and stores in a of I. I is 4. So a of 4 is equals to any dynamical value 15. I have entered this dynamically in the output. It is of our wish. Any value can be entered. It may be of any digits, no problem. This is the use of for loop because there will be a single main variable, but many values can be entered with this variable. But remember one thing, arrays has limit. It can store only 100 elements, not more than 100. So a of 100 will be given, but not a of 101. I hope you guys understood. A of 100 will be given. This is the final limit of an array. It will be not given as a of 101. Only 0 to 99 elements will be stored in a single array. So using this for loop, we'll use a main variable a and we'll be incrementing the values of I and will be storing many values in a single variable. This decreases the complication of using many printfs and scanfs. Generally we use one printf and scanf to enter an element. For example, I am entering here n value as 10. To enter this n value dynamically in the output, I am using a printf asking enter the number, and after that I will be entering 10 so that it will be stored in the n value. If we have to store this for 50 numbers, then we have to use 50 printfs and scanfs. Instead of using that, we are using a single for loop so that loop iterates until the condition becomes false. I hope you guys understood single dimensional array. So we'll go with two-dimensional array. This is two-dimensional array, mostly used for rows and columns like matrices. In single dimensional array, we have one variable a and we are entering only one thing, I. But here in two-dimensional, if we go through, rows should have a variable and columns should have a variable. A of I of j, but these two belongs to A. Like I represents rows and j represents columns. And for each thing I will be giving for loop. For I is one for loop and for j is one for loop. So if the condition satisfies both the loop, then it gets into the scanf and stores in this particular address. This is the program. Hash include studio.h void main. Here these are dynamic values we need to enter. I'll be asked in the output to enter R1 and C1. That means the row and the column. To get it more detail, I'll be explaining this. Consider a box of 2 into 3 matrix. So we'll have 2 rows and 3 columns. These are 2 rows and these are 3 columns. So we'll give a for loop for these 2 rows. That means a for loop will iterate for rows and another for loop will iterate for columns. So this particular box will be stored in A of 0th row and 0th column, and this particular box will be stored in A of 0th row and 1th column. Similarly, the second one, A of 0th row and 2nd column. This is the address where we need to store the value which we enter dynamically. So for this, we are giving the 2-dimensional program with this loop. Let's go into the program. Here I will be asked to enter R1 and C1. So where R1 is the row which I want and C1 is the column. So this is the loop for rows. This is the loop for columns. When this loop satisfies, it checks for this loop, and when this loop satisfies, it goes through scanf and reads the element. So we'll compare this loop and explain the iterations, so you'll get more clarity about that. Here are the iterations. Let's see the loop first. This is the loop for rows. I am entering number of rows is 2 and number of columns is 3. These are dynamic values. You can enter of any of your choice. So I have given 2 rows and 3 columns. This loop iterates until 0 to 2. That means this is the rows. These are the columns. So this is the column and this is the rows. We loop for rows, loop for columns. So the number of rows I have entered is 2. Condition given is I less than R1. I initial value is 0 and this 0 is less than R1. So it starts from 0 and ends till R1. R1 is 2. So it continues till 0 to 2. That means 0 less than 2. That means 0 to 1. And whereas in columns, its condition is 0 less than 3. And it iterates till 0 to 2. Because it's less than, I have not given equal to 3. If I give equal to 3 here, then this loop iterates from 0 to 3. It includes 3 here, but I have given less than 3. If the I value is 3, it is not less than 3, it is equal to 3. So this condition gets false. So I have given 0 less than 3. So the loop iterates till 0 to 2. Now let's get into iterations. First, it goes with I is equals to 0. Initial value is 0. So 0. And 0 is less than R1. R1 is 2. I have given. So 0 is less than 2. It's true. So it goes into another loop for loop. So here z value is 0. Initial value is 0. This 0 is less than C1. C1 is 3. So 0 is less than 3. Condition is true. So A of it gets into the loop a of I of j, where I is 0 and j is 0. So a of I of j, that means a of 0 of 0, it reads the value which we enter in this address, that means in this variable. It stores in this variable. I have entered 12 dynamically, so this value will be stored in a of 0 of 0. That means in this one, a of 0th row and 0th column, here the 12 value will be assigned. It has read a of 0 of 0th value as 12, and after that it increments the j value, j plus plus. So 0 will be incremented to 1, that is 1, and checks for 1 less than c1. c1 is 3, so 1 less than 3. So a of I of j is I is 0 and 1 is jth value. So a of 0 of 1 is the dynamical value 14. The dynamical value which I enter is 14, that is 0th row and 1th column. Here the 14th value will be assigned. It may be any value, it's of your choice. I have entered 14, and here I have entered, so the j value gets incremented from 1 to 2. Again it checks for condition, 2 is less than c1, that is 2 is less than 3. So a of 0 of 2, here the value will be entered dynamically again when it comes into the loop. So a of I of j, where I is 0 and j is 2. So a of 0 of 2, here in this variable, in this place, this 10 will be stored. This is the entered dynamical value. Again the j value gets incremented 2 to 3, where 3 is not less than 3, it is equal to 3. So the condition is false, so it comes out of j loop and increments the I value, because here we have rows also, the row 1 also must be incremented. So when the loop comes out of j loop, it gets incremented with I. So I plus plus, firstly we have I value is 0 and 0 to it gets incremented to 1. So we'll have another iteration table. I is equals to 1 and 1 is the row, present row. That means initial 0 I is incremented to 1. So I is equals to 1 and 1 should be less than 2. This is the R value I have entered dynamically. So it should the I value must be less than 2. 0 is less than, it checks for 0 is less than 2. So the 0 loop has completed. So the I value increments. I is equal to 1 now. So the row we have is 1. Previously we have completed this column. Now we are entering into this. Here we are having number assigned as 1 for the row, and 1 of 0, 1 of 1, 1 of 2. These are the 3 sizes of the variable, so that 3 elements will be entered. So first we'll enter this one. Here I is equal to 1 got incremented 1, 1 it checks for condition 1 is less than r1. R1 is 2. 1 is less than 2. It is true. So again goes into the loop, z loop. So z is equals to 0. Again, as I said before, it checks for condition. Initial value is 0. 0 is less than c1. 0 is less than 3. Satisfied. So a of 1 of 0, and in this position this 7 will be stored, which is entered dynamically in this table. Exactly, if you see a of 1 of 0, here a of 1 of 0 is 1 of 0, a of 1 of 0. So a of 1 of 0 is 7. 0 gets incremented to 1. 1 is less than 3. A of 1 of 1, that is in the scanf. A of 1 of 1, I have to enter the element dynamically. I have entered 9. So 9 has to be stored in this place. 9 has stored in a of 1 of 1. Now the last box has to be filled. Let's go into the loop again. Here 9 has entered. Again the loop gets incremented. That means j value gets incremented from 1 to 2. 2 is less than 3. Again it goes into the scanf, a of I of j. A of 1 of 1 is 9. Completed. So the 1 value gets incremented to 2, and 2 is less than 3. A of 1 of 2, where I is 1 and 2 is column, that is j. So a of 1 of 2 is the dynamical value 8, and this 8 will be stored over here. So entire matrix is filled. That means entire box is filled. And after completing this scanf, again the j gets incremented. This 2 will be incremented to 3, and 3 is less than 3. It is equal to 3 actually. So the loop false. Loop is false. So finally the I value comes out of the j loop, and the I value gets incremented from 1 to 2. Then again I is equals to 2. Again it checks for the condition of row 2 is less than 2, because I have entered r1 is equals to 2. So 2 is less than 2 is also false. It is equal to 2, but I have given less than 2. So loop again comes out. So the total loop is completed, and finally it comes out, and the loop is completed. Finally the way it's stored is in this way. We have given loop for rows and also for columns, and the matrix is filled, box is filled. If you guys like the video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any ideas, please share through comments, so I'll get to know whether you have understood the video or not. Signing off. Bye bye. Have a nice day.